Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our new Wonder Kid striker, perhaps Nemo. Yes, Nassim El Muasawi. I'm going to call him Nemo. N-E-Mu. It's like the fish. And I've signed him for £450,000. I know what you're thinking, Jack. You've signed another foreign player. You're already up against the foreign player limit. Who's gone? I'll let you know right after the intro. Yes, folks, how is it going? A warm welcome back. Today is episode number 54 of Tokyo Rising. If you want to help out the series because it's dropped out of the algorithm with there being a gap between the start of this season and the end of the last one, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know your player of the series so far and let me know why that player of the series just has to be the one, the only, Mitsuhashi. I feel like any other answer than this guy, just incorrect. Now, since last episode, the transfer window has slammed shut, except it hasn't everywhere. I mean, it has in Japan. I've made a couple of transfers, including Nemo, who I've just shown you, but there is one sale ongoing, and that is the sale of Vinicius Diniz. Once upon a time, the star man at the club. Contract's expiring at the end of the current season. He's already told me he wants to leave on a free. Wasn't happy that I wasn't willing to make him the highest earner at the club. But truthfully, he is a player whose level has kind of just dropped off over the last couple of years. When we signed him in J3, he was an absolute superstar. Safe to say that in J2, he was a squad player. Now in J1, I feel like we're looking beyond him, especially because I've gone out and I've signed a Japanese centre mid. Now, of course, for a little bit of context, Diniz has been ousted from the first team initially because of Sakaki here. The 19-year-old is a very solid defensive midfielder. If we compare him with Diniz, definitely better from a defensive point of view. Maybe lacks a little bit technically. That was kind of the sort of midfielder I was looking for, an amalgamation of both these players. I have found that man, and that player comes in the form of a player we have spent £210,000 on, Sora Nakamura, 20 years old, a really solid defensive midfielder with some absolutely insane mentals, it has to be said. He basically has the defensive ability of Sakaki with a little bit of the technical ability that was possessed by Diniz. I'm not going to pretend that he's the same level technically as Diniz, but given the fact the role that this man is going to play is not the playmaker in our team, I'm not actually that worried about the vision. And fundamentally, when you look at the comparison of stuff like passing and vision, I don't necessarily feel like there's a world of difference. And Nakamura, of course, comes in at 20 years old with bags of potential. I'm very excited about this guy. In terms of transfer business, though, that is the extent of what we've done. It does mean that our net transfer spend for the year sits at £850,000. Of course, I already mentioned Nemo coming in. £450,000 spent on this striker. Moroccan youth international. This is one of the few times where an intermediary reached out to me and was like, hey, I have my client. And the client was actually good. I was very excited when I saw this guy. We snapped him up pretty much on deadline day. And of course, Taba, who is our star striker, is probably a good yardstick to measure him against. I don't want to whisper it too loudly. The 18-year-old might be better. He has signed a contract till 2033 as well. It is on £3,000. I'm hoping he's going to justify that. He's yet to play a game for us. His debut is coming up today. Now, of course, it's safe to say that last episode didn't exactly go to plan. We lost back-to-back matches, but truthfully, we looked quite good in them. So I was expecting us to get some wins. We have got some wins. In fact, we got 3 clean sheets on the bounce. The last couple of results, though, may be a bit of a reality check. The first of the wins was this one away against Sanga. I think it says a lot that we won 3-0. Their goalkeeper still managed to get a 7.1 rating. We had an XG of 4, probably should have scored more, but was very, very impressive in this one. We then followed it up with a game against Hollyhock, who, of course, we were promoted with last year. 2-0 in this game. Good to see Honda opening up his goal-scoring account in J1. And we followed it up with a third win on the bounce against Ahim FC. We won this one 3-0. Taba with a sensational finish from range to open up the goal scoring after 10 minutes. We then grabbed a second goal from a corner. Sakaguchi, the centre-back, leaping like a salmon. They had a sending off. They went trying to chase the game whilst down a man. That turned out to be a critical mistake. Sakaki, what a finish that was by the striker, who of course was injured to start the year, and I hate to say it, he's gone and got injured again. Yeah, he's out for up to 3 weeks. Of course, there was loads of interest in this guy during the transfer window. I promised if we got a bid of 2.6 million, I'd sell him. He's a fan favourite, but truthfully, this start to the year, nothing short of a nightmare. He's only been out for 2 days with his current injury. He is going to miss another chunk of football now. which, you know what, maybe it's a good job we signed Nemo, because we are now kind of light on strikers, despite the fact we have so many. As I already alluded to, though, our good start to the year has slowed down a little bit as of late. We lost this game here, 3-1. I'll tell you what, Muenta, this guy, Football Manager wonder kid from Thailand. If you play Football Manager, you've probably encountered this guy. Sufanat, far too good for J1, I think it's safe to say. 5 goals in 6 games. He got a hat-trick against us. I would like to point out that when you compare him to Nemo, whilst he's definitely better than Nemo, he's on £22,000 a week. I really can't stress this enough. Our total wage spend is £58,000. Our budgets are so low compared to everyone around us. However, because we're getting so much money in TV money and prize money, and this year we've not really scaled up our wage spending, I mean, you can see here, we are making mad money. Our overall balance could look really healthy come the end of the year, which could help us with some reinvestment. Anyway, our most recent game was against Urawa Reds away from home, a very well-established J1 team, the Red Diamonds. We managed to lose 4-3 here. It was fairly respectable, 3-1 down at half-time, came back a little bit, was actually 3-3 before they scored in the 80th minute. When Hashizume got an equaliser, I got excited. I feel like you look at the stats of this game, we gave them a bloody good game. And to be fair, I feel like that's kind of just been the trend this year. Right now we sit in 10th place today. 2 rather important games. We have Albirex, who are down in 17th away from home. We've already played them. And after that, we take on Vortis in a home game. Vortis currently in last place. I feel like if we can get 2 good results today, that would be good. The match after that is against Belmar. I kind of want to throw in a bonus match. Do we do 3 matches today? You know what? Spontaneous triple header. I'm feeling generous. But yes, our opposition today currently sits in 20th, 17th, 15th. If we get 3 wins here, suddenly we're looking like a really comfy top half the table team. I know that's not going to be easy, especially with 2 of the games being away from home. Anyway, our first game today is against Albirex, who we were promoted with. Away from home, I kind of back us to get a result here. As already mentioned, Nemo is going to be making his debut. We have got a few fairly important players missing. Delacorte had a great start to the year. He actually picked up a little bit of an injury. We've only played 1 game in the last 4 weeks due to an international break and just a gap in the fixtures. Sadly, however, he's not quite recovered from his injury quick enough here. It means in terms of plan, I think I either go with Murata, who's still learning to play left-back, or I go with Mitsuhashi at left-back. I mean, Murata's better on paper, but he can't play left-back as well. You know what? I can't believe we're doing this. Mitsuhashi is still in our team. And elsewhere, out on the right-hand side of midfield, Kamiyama is out with a groin strain that he picked up in training. With that in mind, I think the no-brainer answer here is to bring in Hashizume. Had to shuffle players around a little bit on the bench there, but we still have a fair amount of attacking depth. I do want to just shine a spotlight a little bit on Yamazaki. You might remember he was suspended to start the year. The 18-year-old is kind of the player who I've been most excited about. 4 appearances, 2 assists already. I'm feeling very optimistic about what this guy can bring to our team. Nakamura also going to slot in for his live commentary debut at defensive midfielder. Another player yet to play for us yet. I kind of mentioned the fact the fixtures were super spread out. You can see it here. We played on the 16th of March. The game before that was on the 5th of March. We're now playing at the end of the month. Anyway, the players are rested. Albirex we took on away from home last year and did quite well against them. They've got a regen without a face up front. Immediately, I have to check this. Of course, I use a regen face pack to keep the faces topped up. I did it like less than a year ago. So the player playing up top for them is either really, really young or only recently generated. I need to know the answer. And the answer is he's a newly generated player. In fact, I think I looked at him in the summer transfer window and decided not to sign him because he was injury prone and inconsistent. I feel like now I'd have to compare him against Nemo to decide if that was a good decision or not. I'll tell you what, he's very good for a 17-year-old Japanese player. Let's hope he doesn't have our pants down. Now, should I be worried that there's now a kickoff highlight? Is this because I went to the player profile at kickoff, or is that actually something about to happen immediately? Hashizume trying to play it in behind, can't quite make it work. Ball is launched forward here. Manga wins a header. Of course, Manga broke his back. He is now back in the team, I'm pleased to report. We need to do a little bit of defending here, though, as Hayama plays it inside to Nakashima. We've had 2 defeats on the bounce. I do not want to make it a third. That shot was not far wide. Okay, Albirex have had a pretty good start to this game in terms of shots. By comparison, we're having plenty of the ball, but not doing enough with it. I've gone for the early shouts of encouragement. I want green, happy, smiley faces everywhere. Away from home, in all honesty, avoiding defeat wouldn't be bad. But if we could get wins in today's matches, it would be a bit of a statement for the season. We're up to 40 minutes played already. There's been nothing happened since that kickoff highlight. Is anything going to happen before half-time? Anything? No. No, it's not. It's half-time here. It's 0-0. It's been absolutely dreadful. Maybe it's a good job we're doing 3 matches today. I mean, in terms of match momentum, we started off well. They've kind of come into the game that little bit more. Suppose there becomes a point in this game where it's kind of a question of, do I want to be the first person to change things? And whilst I don't really want to change the shape, I am going to change the personnel. Sakurai, Onyukam, Okamura, I'm going to bring in as well. Nemo's not had a good debut today. I'm going to bring in Okamura at striker. And you know what? This might be controversial. Taba's been poor as well. Takagi on Newcombe. Takagi, of course, joined us in the JFL, has been a mainstay of the first team, hasn't scored in J1 yet. I'd love him to get a goal today. Okay, Juff at centre-back gives it to Mitsuhashi. Of course, a bit of a makeshift left-back option is Mitsuhashi, but he's still in the team today. I love that both he and Takagi, who were with us in the 4th tier, are now still featuring in our J1 team. Maybe that's a cause for concern. Some people would hate that. The part of me that loves to be loyal to players, to have a narrative, to have that consistency, adores it. And well, we could have a chance here. Yamazaki is through. Yamazaki has scored. I put him under the microscope. I mentioned those 2 assists in 4 games and the fact he was looking good. He's popped up with a massive goal there. He's slotting in as the roaming playmaker, and he just makes a run from deep. A channel opens up, maybe a bit of fortune about how the ball got to him, but a really tidy finish on his left foot to find the bottom corner. Okay, well, we waited a while for that first goal, and now we're straight into another highlight. Is this going to be like a bus? You know, you wait for one for ages, suddenly 2 come along at once. Tachibana for them, gives it to Watanabe. Of course, Tachibana, our right back in the team today. Missed last episode through injury. He's been very good. Takagi, first J1 goal has happened. It's a quick 1-2 sucker punch. And you know what? That might have come against the run of play, but the subs have made it happen. Is there anything more satisfying than when in Football Manager, you make some subs and then they all link up? 3 of our players there that we brought on linking up for that goal. The finish, delightful. Great to see Takagi off the mark in J1 too. Okay, I've shouted some praise at the players. There are green, smiley, happy faces here, there, and everywhere. Now, really, it's about getting the job done. They have had only 1 shot on target in this game. We have limited their opportunities. I feel like the fresh legs we brought on have really had the desired impact. A 3rd goal probably puts this result beyond doubt. Let's see if we can make it happen here. Sakurai, slotting in on the left-hand side, holding up the play nicely, goes all the way back to Juff. The ball-playing centre-back lays it across to Manga. He has a lot of open field in front of him to pick out a pass. Yamazaki makes himself open. We're knocking the ball around nicely here. We look like a football team, or rather, we did look like a football team until Tachibana gave the ball away. And having wrestled it back once, he might have to do it again, the right back. He misses the interception. They shoot. They hit the woodwork. And somehow we get it away. Kurakawa over a corner for them, though. I mean, we've done well defensively from open play now. Just got to deal with set pieces. At times, they've been our kryptonite, but on this occasion, we're going to live to fight another day. And now I just look in that top left corner. I look directly above me and think, the time just wants to keep on going. That would be nice. It's going to be a 2nd yellow card for Hiyama here. Hashizume is in absolute agony, I think. He's rolling around quite a lot there. And, well, that is surely going to be game, set, and match. 5 minutes of added time. They're down a man as well. Is there time for the misery compiler? Is there time to get another one of our players a goal just to bolster their confidence just a little bit? You know, it'd be irrelevant, really, to get another goal in the context of this one match. But a goal for a player, you know, can inspire them to find some form. Hashizume, could you be inspired? Not with finishing like that. I don't know what I expected from Hashizume. This game here is going to finish 2-0. Really good second half performance. The subs had a crazy impact in this game. You can see here, Okamura 2 assists, Takagi with a goal as well. And that is the advantage of the strength in depth that we have. Told the players I wasn't overly happy with the performance because in the first half we weren't good enough. But that result there moves us up into the top 6 places, of course. There is continental football on offer this year. I think there's 7 teams that get it. I think there's 3 through the league for the Champions League, 1 through the Emperor's Cup, and then 3 get the 2nd kind of tier Asian kind of continental cup. I mean, the next 2 games we've got up here against Vortis, who are bottom, and then against Belmar in 15th. If we win those next 2 games, I might start to get a little bit carried away. Anyway, the next game against Vortis is a week away. I'm going to give Okamura some praise. I'm going to get forward to that next game. Don't go anywhere. I feel like we've not talked about youth intakes in this save game in forever, mostly because they've been completely irrelevant, and they probably still will be, but there's one player that is at least considered a top talent. Matsushima here. Is he good? Could he be good? He's 15. He looks pretty decent in terms of his mentals. Has some kind of nice technicals as well. Truthfully, He's still a country mile away from the first team, but I feel like at the very least I should just let you know he exists in case he develops into a good player. In terms of his actual attributes, he could be really, really well suited, I think, to playing as like an advanced playmaker, but yeah, being real for a moment, it's going to take him a little while to get to the level he needs to be at to be in our first team. Anyway, saying all of that, we're going to jump straight into game number 2 today against Vortis. They are bottom. We've had a week's rest. The good news is that Dalla Corte is back in the team. Juff and Manga at centre-back is going to be really, really nice as a pairing. Yet to really have these guys for an extended period. Truthfully, in the last game, whilst they kept a clean sheet, they weren't exactly doing a lot, were they? But I feel like when you look at their polygons, you can kind of see how they're going to be able to hopefully benefit one another. Easy to forget as well when it comes to Juff. The man is 18 years old, starting regularly at centre-back for us. I've got very high hopes this guy is going to develop. Elsewhere in the team, I've just noticed that my strikers are the wrong way round. I'm going to keep faith in Nemo. I feel like I need to nickname him Nemo, don't I? Nassim El Muassi, or Musawi. Look, it's a lovely name. It's just a bit of a mouthful. Do we call him Nemo like that, or do I write it in lowercase? I feel like that looks really scuffed. Then again, in a weird way, when I look at it on the tactics screen, I kind of like it. Tabba and Nemo are going to be up top alongside each other. Okamura comes into the team on the right-hand side. Last game, we played Hashizume there. Feel like it's only right that the man of the match from the last game, the man who came on off the bench, starts this game here. So Okamura, it's your time to shine. Okay, this is the one home game in this run of games that we're doing today. I'm going to hope we can get a good little result here. That away win was nice. Another win here. We start to look really good. And given the fact Vortis are bottom after 8 games, we kind of have to back ourselves to win this. I almost feel like not winning this game would be a disappointment in itself. Anyway, as I shout encourage, a highlight begins here. I'm going to hope that the shout of encouragement has worked some football manager magic. The ball is launched long. Dalla Corte is going to be the man to mop up the pieces. Very big pitch we have here at home. Lots of space for our players to operate in. And we're looking at it here. There is some really nice movement on display. Tabba to Nemo. One-on-one. I've nicknamed him. He's immediately scored. That can't be a coincidence. Tabba picks up the ball deep here as the pressing forward on support. And I'll tell you what, he is finding Nemo there with the deep pass. That is a lovely ball in. Keeper no chance. That was our first shot of the game, by the way. Slightly against run of play. It could immediately be clapped back. If they score, this free kick here, which they've taken short, they shoot. Nakano holds on to it. That was a weird routine that scared me slightly. Anyway, we've got our own chance here. Nemo to Honda. Honda with the Mohawk. Players in the middle. Can he drive across? He can. The keeper makes a save. I mean, truthfully, we've not been good in this game so far. That was just our second shot on target of the game, but it was a golden opportunity to double our lead, which sadly, our left back couldn't take. I've also noticed here, can you remember Koyuru Masuki? I was looking to sign him. He didn't want to join me. He has signed for Vortis on £12,000 a week. I mean, now I know why he didn't want to join me as a free agent, but equally, it would be lovely to get one over on a player who did not want to join me. I was basically begging him during the off-season to join us. Right now, we have the edge. Right now, we're a goal up. I'm just going to tell the players I'm happy. There is green, happy, smiley faces everywhere. Okamura, who we thrusted into the team today off the back of his performance last match, has been poor. Going to make an early change at half-time. Hashizume, come on down. I mean, so far, so good. We definitely had the better of the players. The half went on. We managed to tot up our shots. To be honest, they've had a lot of the ball in this game, but we're winning the ball high up the pitch, and we're making the most of chances that come our way, including that, if it's going to count. Manga won a towering header. Is it going to count? Is he offside? I think he might be offside. Or maybe he's on. Nemo has found himself in space again. How many times can I use the word find or finding for this man? Lovely finish on the volley. Had to show some composure there. Manga with a tasty little assist too. Okay, an hour played in this game. I'm going to change things up a little bit. Yamazaki's not been the best player in the midfield. Lucas Ferreira on you come. Sakaki on you come as well for some fresh legs. I'm looking at Dalla Corte thinking, you're coming back from injury. I don't want to risk you. So you know what? Murata in at left back, you come, son. 2 goals to the good, 4 changes made. I'd love at this point now to try and keep a second clean sheet in a row. Games we've won this year have come off the back of getting clean sheets, and in spite of the fact goals haven't been hard to come by, as a newly promoted team, clean sheets are just a bit unexpected. They're nice to get. If we could get a few more goals, of course, that would be nice too. But I don't know, 2-0 I'd happily take at this moment in time. Anyway, Juff is knocking it around the back. Tabba here. This is a nice little build-up play, isn't it, by our team? Juff to Ferreira. Shows an option. Hashizume cuts inside. The build-up play was superb until that pass that was wayward, but we immediately wrestle back the ball, and now it's Tachibana to Hashizume. Off and off the bench, shoots. And it was a good effort. The keeper at least saved that one. I was getting ready to complain about Hashizume's inability to finish whilst also having 14 finishing. I won't blame him too much there. But sadly for us, they are going to deal with this corner. And unless there's a counter-attack, which there's not going to be because Ferreira's decided to murder a man, it's going to remain 2-0 for now. Vortis need a response now. There is 20 minutes left. They have to show a sign of life. The sooner they get one goal back, the sooner their fans might dream of a late away comeback. They're knocking the ball around here with confidence in the middle. Goto has it now. Back and forth it goes. They've had a lot of the ball in this game, but struggled to get it forward. Could that change here? Miyahara to the byline. Crosses it in. It's a flex. Kato probably should have kept his header down then for them. Murata at left back with a throw in. He's going to try and get it into the box unsuccessfully, but Tachibana wins the second ball. Honda picks it up, and that shot flashes across the face of goal. It was in fact blocked by the defender. Corner-wise, we're aiming for that near post. We're looking for Luck Manga. Tachibana's going to whip it in. Can't win the ball on that occasion, and we've had 9 corners in this game. We've not done anything with them. You'd have to say on the balance of the plate, we've been the better of the two teams. I feel like there's still another goal in this game, and it could come for us, it could come for them. Maybe it's about to come now. Hashizume, Tachibana, the right back, in acres of space, and that, my friends, is thunderous to make it 3-0. Tachibana at right back, making a little run, finding a bit of space. Hashizume, to be fair, with a really intelligent run and pass, but this shot, I mean, it wasn't even in the corner, but it was too hot for the keeper to handle, and it's ended up in the back of the net. That is another win on the board. I was scared that we weren't going to get a live commentary win for ages this year as a newly promoted team. That is now 2 on the bounce. It's 5 wins in our first 9, and we have one more game today that if we win, we could propel ourselves towards the top of the table. Now look, granted the teams we've taken on today have been slightly weaker teams that perhaps you expect us to win, but we can only beat the teams in front of us. Right now we're doing that. And suddenly, the relegation zone, it looks a long, long way behind our shoulders. Tachibana with that late goal ended up snatching the Man of the Match award, which I absolutely love. Look at our upcoming game. We've got Belmar. It's in 4 days' time. Now, I am conscious of the fact it's an away day, but given the fact we're doing 3 matches today, and I'm a little bit against it in terms of turning around the episode and turnaround time, I'm sorry to the Lemon Gas Stadium. I'm going to say it's because their name is the Lemon Gas Stadium. I refuse to go to a stadium called Lemon Gas. It's just too silly a name. Anyway, like I already mentioned, that game is a matter of days away. So I'm going to rest up the players and we're going to hop straight into that next one. Can we make it 3 wins in 3? Could we make it 3 clean sheets in 3? Let's go find out. Okay, the players are rested up, and next up is Belmar. Of the teams we're playing today, they are perhaps the best. They are 4 points behind us. A win here away from home would start to make me think we could be the real deal. And whilst the likes of Sanfrecce Hiroshima, Vissel Kobe and F. Marinos, look, they have long gone. There is a front 3 running away with things. Being in the battle for continental football this year would be absolutely massive if we can make it happen. In terms of team news, I've rested up the team a fair amount. We did have a couple of little players struggling fitness-wise. You can see Delacorte here, only really fit enough to play 75 minutes. Elsewhere, Nakamura picked up a knock. Looking at his fitness, test not required, but I feel like the safe thing to do here is just bring in Sakaki. The rest of the team, though, I don't think I want to change. I mean, if I was going to change anything, I'd bring in Hashizume, whose form lately has been good. Or, I could bring in Takagi and then play Nemo on the right wing. I've not done that yet. I hadn't really considered it an option. Is that silly? You know what? I'm going to try it today. Why not? So it's going to be Takagi and Tabra up front, the old school duo, Nemo on the right-hand side, Honda on the left. It's such an attacking lineup. We have this abundance of fast, attacking, wide players. I feel like I just want to get as many of them on the pitch as possible and hope that they can do the business for us. We're going to hope that, like in the last 2 games, they can do the business here. We're going to be matching up against a 4-3-3. I kind of like that matchup. I tell you what, their green kit really camouflages in with the pitch, doesn't it? Like, I tell you what, I don't feel like this is fair. This is not, they are in camo. Honda's won the ball, though. He can see what's going on. He's got night vision goggles on. Can he get the ball into the box? He whips it in. Taba's there. And if he keeps the header down, it's 1-0 inside 3 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes played in this game. Not having as much of the ball as perhaps we'd like, but we don't have that much of the ball all that often. We're a team that like to win the ball high up the pitch and cause teams issues once we get it. Look at the shots racking up in our favour as well. As the away team, having 5 shots in the first 20 minutes, nothing to scoff at. But of course, shots don't mean anything. You don't get points for shots. I mean, I don't know a sport where you would get points for shots unless you were doing, you know, the Olympic shooting event. I digress. We have the ball and we need goals. That is the thing that counts here. A third win in a row would be massive. A third clean sheet in a row would be really nice as well. We've been able to get a fair few already this year. Looking very good at the back. Now we've got our full strength 11, or at least our full strength back 4 there. Delacorte picks at the ball. That's a lovely ball to Honda. Players inside. Tabber is one of them. And I was going to say, well, at least he was offside. He wasn't offside. That would have counted. Okay, free kick here. Nemo, what can you do? 2 goals last game for him. He shoots here. And the keeper's made a sensational save. We still do have a corner via Yamazaki. He's going to whip it in. Sadly, he can't beat the first man. Can Nemo make anything happen from the resulting thing? Diouf, Delacorte, the left back. I'll tell you what, their right back's on a booking. He needs to be careful. They're diving in. Pressure is ramping up, but yet to find the back of the net. Our XG is now exceeding 1, so right now we're being FM'd. That's how it works, right? Oh my word, Tachibana's down and deep. They've had a man sent off. That came from nowhere. I was just complaining about the fact that we were having issues when it came to, well, not converting chances. They're going to a diamond shape. I'm going to change something here. In transition, distribute it to the fullbacks. Our fullbacks are going to be completely unmarked here. They're going to have a lot of time and space to get forward. I mean, it's 0-0 at the break. They're down a man. I know we're away from home, and perhaps going into this game, it was going to look even. Given the fact we now have a man advantage for the second half, we have to be winning this kind of game. And well, we could have a chance here. Yamazaki whips in. Manga heads just over. There's going to come a point in this game where I need to get more attacking. And to be honest, we've probably already hit that point. I'm going to make some changes here. Hashizume on Newcomb. Takagi off Okamura. Going to keep Taba on the pitch just because I feel like we have to. Ferreira. Well, I was going to bring him on, but now I'm wondering if that's even a smart decision. I feel like for Tachibana now, we can tell him to get further forward on attack, given the fact they've got no players in those wider areas. I feel like of all the areas of the pitch where depth would be nice right now, wing-back would be the area. It's one of the few areas where we don't have that much depth. I don't feel like I want to change things too radically tactically here, because when you look at the stats, we've been completely on top. It feels like the goal is coming, and rather than trying to rush into forcing the goal to happen, if we just remain patient, it should be fine. Saying all of that, there will come a point in this game where I feel like we have to chase it even though we're away from home, unless we can score here. Honda, Tachibana already has 1. Couldn't keep his shot down on that occasion. I thought he was going to get 2 goals in 2 games for us. We have, however, got another chance here. It's another throw-in, this time a disappointing one. We give up possession, although it's won very well back there by Tachibana. Can Delacorte make something happen at left-back? Down the line to Honda, skips past his man, drives it in, it's cleared away, but we are piling on the pressure here. Chances are mounting up, it's Tachibana again. Options in the middle, fizzes it across goal, the keeper spills it. That is an absolute disaster from their point of view. Their keeper has basically given us a goal there. I'm not going to complain. I was beginning to wonder, was this patient approach going to backfire? This decision not to go more attacking? Was I going to live to regret it? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to live to regret it if it stays at this scoreline. The justification to remain patient is there. I feel like sometimes in Football Manager, chasing games, you go more direct, you try and, hit early crosses, and actually you just end up creating nothing because you're just creating speculative stuff. We've stuck to our principles. I am saying all of this knowing that a kickoff highlight is now playing out, and they could just score immediately, completely against a run of play. And well, they could actually do that here because Takada has got a load of space. He cuts inside, he shoots. And but for a poor finish, I'll be honest, I was a little bit scared then. 5 minutes left of this game here. They are going a lot more attacking. They are changing their system every time the ball goes out of play, but there is no luck coming. We are holding on. I want to say it's not been convincing. When you look at the overall stats, it's a miracle it's only finished 1-0. We got an XG of 3.19. Their goalkeeper has got the second best rating on the pitch in a game that they've lost. He's not saved a penalty. When keepers get above an 8.0 rating without saving a penalty, they've basically had the best performance of their career in Football Manager terms. But for us, it's a win. That's all there is to it. That's 3 clean sheets in a row as well. 2 of those away from home. That's very good. Now, I'll be honest, at the end of last episode, I was feeling pretty dejected. 2 games where we had superior XG, but were unable to get results. All of a sudden, with these 3 wins today, especially having lost 2 games going into today's episode, things look a whole lot better. If we look at the XG table, we should be top. The reality of the situation is we're not quite there, but right now we're in 5th. As a newly promoted team, can't really ask for much more. Now, in terms of when we're going to be back next time, I'll be honest with you, I don't have it as Scooby-Doo. I'm looking at the F Marinos game, wondering if that could be a good one to come back for. Of course, the J1 season is only 38 games long. We're already a quarter of the way through things. Maybe when we come back, we'll be halfway through things. You'll have to come back tomorrow to find out. Like I mentioned at the top of things, if you are still enjoying this series, go down below, leave a like, especially if you enjoyed the triple header. Let me know your favourite player of the series so far. And like I said already, we're back tomorrow with more. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.